Well, good morning, everybody. Lovely to be here again on one of our first few lives that we're doing for Equine Connection. So I'm really thrilled to be here. Unfortunately, I don't have Alice, my business partner, here again today. She's just had a bit of a run of bad luck, but us being women, and we're here to celebrate International Women's Day this week, we all understand that. We understand the ups and downs of being a mum and being a working mum and all that sort of stuff and all those challenges. So obviously we really want things to go well for Alice. Her little baby is not very well, and that's always such a worry for a mum. And the least of her worries should be work and coming here. So in the sense of International Women's Day, which was on Monday this week, the 8th of March, I really love their theme for this year, and it was choose to challenge. And I think that all of us women out there do choose to challenge ourselves actually every day. Women put so much on themselves and often do not prioritize themselves, and you almost become a bit lost. So today I really wanted to celebrate women and celebrate, hello everyone. Oh, it says I could bring people on camera. I'm not quite tech savvy with all that, so I may not try, but please, if you want to add something to our theme today about celebrating women and women choosing to challenge themselves, then please add in our comments because that would be great to hear everyone's opinion on that. So as I said, like today I'm going to talk about International Women's Day, which was Monday the 8th of March. The theme for that this year was choose to challenge, which I think is a fantastic theme because, as I just said, women just do not prioritize themselves and give themselves so many challenges on a day-to-day basis, on a year-to-year basis. We all really do. So thinking about everything from being a daughter, we're all someone's daughter, right? Being a daughter, being a mother, a sister, an auntie, whatever we are, a partner, a businesswoman, we all have challenges in our lives. So rising to those challenges is really important. Now, the reason that this all connects in with Equine Connection and equine assisted learning is that horses bring this out in us as well. They really do challenge us. So as beautiful as they are and as beautiful as those moments we have with them, those beautiful connecting moments, they do challenge us to be our true selves. And I think that that is the greatest challenge in life when we're thinking about this year's theme of Choose to Challenge. That's one of the greatest challenges we're ever going to have, is to be our authentic selves. So at Equine Connection, we really do support women from all walks of life, all diversities. We're very, very inclusive. We've actually brought, oh, hi Troy, we actually have a guy watching. So today's theory is about International Women's Day. So we're celebrating women who choose to challenge, as is the theme. So we actually have courses designed specifically for women, and it is just to bring out the best versions of themselves, to, for once in their lives, put themselves at the top of the list and think about what's really important to them. And that even sounds possibly a little self-centered, but it's not, because we can only be the best for others when we're at kind of the best and at peace with ourselves. And I wanted to celebrate a few women who've been through some of our programs recently. So we run, as many of the Equine Connection crew do, we run these, we call them women's retreats. So they're 2-day retreats, specifically designed for women on a personal development level. And some things that have come out lately from some of our beautiful participants in this. So for example, a couple of weeks ago, we ran one of our Authentic You women's retreats, and we had 6 very special women. And even the end of last year, we ran our last one for 2020, and also had a beautiful, special bunch of women. And some of their takeaways are just amazing, and I'd like to share some of them with you. So one lady that we had in our group, she had been a first responder for many, many years. So with everything going on in the world at the moment with COVID, these special group of people, so not just women, but this special group of people have a lot to contend with at the moment. And this particular person had not only been dealing with that sort of thing, but she had been part of the fire service. And I'm not sure if you'll all recall the fires in Australia from last year, but they were really devastating. There was like homes lost, lives lost, millions of wildlife and livestock all lost in these fires. It devastated people's lives. It is unfortunately a part of life in Australia, the fires, but when they're so devastating, that's just not normal. And she was her first responder for that. So with that, of course, there's a lot of trauma that can be associated with being a first responder in such devastating circumstances. So when she came to our retreat, one of her biggest takeaways was that she's got a quote that I've written up on my board. Actually, I loved it so much, and it is, "We hear more when we don't speak." So our beautiful horses brought that out in her and made her realize that she doesn't have to be speaking to be understood and to understand others, which is so beautiful. One of the other ladies who I'd like to celebrate, who was with us 2 weeks ago, is a beautiful lady who is actually in a wheelchair. So she was diagnosed with a condition that has taken away her ability to walk by herself. So she was in a wheelchair, and our beautiful horses, she had such a presence about her, and she just really showed us more than I think than we showed her anything, that boundaries are really something that's in your mind. I mean, for me personally, it was a huge takeaway. I thought all these little things that we worry about, and really the biggest boundaries are in our mind. So I think that theme of choose to challenge, she challenged herself to come along to this, but she's also challenged me to rethink some of the things that I thought and think about possibly some even unconscious biases that I had, and to really see that barriers are really only in our minds. One of the other ladies who came along, so here we are celebrating all the beautiful women who come along and learn more about themselves through being with our horses. One of the other ones was a lady who'd had a pretty long career. She was actually a teacher and had got to the top of her game in terms of being a principal at a school for many years. And what she really decided was she had some life-changing moments, and she was on the cusp of making some big decisions. And what she did was, her biggest takeaway from working with our horses was, and again, it's another quote that I have written up here in my office, "To lead with love in your life, you have to be brave." So I love that. So her courage and the belief in herself and her path forward was what came up for her in the couple of days in our retreat. So that again is a beautiful takeaway, and also very fitting for International Women's Day theme of choosing to challenge yourself. We had another lady who was made redundant in her job through the restrictions and things that happened through COVID. So, COVID had a devastating effect on many people. For others, again, like this lady actually turned that negative into a huge positive, and she realized that she took the kind of bull by the horns then and said that she learned to trust in her own heart and be able to focus on her future. So these beautiful takeaways that these women have done and fit in beautifully with the theme of International Women's Day of choosing to challenge yourself is just beautiful. So I have been talking a lot. Normally, as I said, I've got my partner here and we can banter off each other, but not having her here, I'm sorry, just listening to me chat. And you know what I didn't do in the beginning was reintroduce myself. So I'll do that right now at the end of my live. And that is, I'm Jane Hemingway Moore, and I am the instructor for Equine Connection at this part of the universe. The universe? no, the world. We're not quite at universe status, I think, but we're at world status. So at this southern part of the world, so for Australia and New Zealand, also when the borders and the travel restrictions open up again, I'll be heading over to Europe as well. So that's me. I've been in that role for going on 4 years now, which is fantastic. And, we train people in the beautiful art of equine assisted learning, the Equine Connection way. So, if you're interested, please, let us know, pop something like info down in the comments. And the other thing I would love to hear is if anyone has any stories about women that they know who have chosen to challenge, as that was the theme for this year's International Women's Day. And I really do love that theme. It's looking towards creating a more equal world in many ways for women, and I just think that is a great challenge to put out there. I know for myself that one of the biggest challenges still is being extremely self-critical, and that is one of the things that I love about working with horses, because they're not judging us on any of those superficial things. It is a conditional relationship, so they do command all the things that are important, like respect and kindness and all those sort of things, but they're not looking at what we're whether we're tall or short, or whether we what we're wearing. They don't look at any of those sort of things. So they're a beautiful, beautiful being to be able to work with. So it's one way that they have really helped me, and I have to admit it's probably one reason that I absolutely love working with them, is having that beautiful non-judgmental partner to be working with. So please, if you've got anything to add, just pop it in the comments. I'm actually running a course this week as well. So we've taken our break so that I could do this little live here for everybody. So I'd love to hear what everyone's got to say. And please feel free to contact Equine Connection if you're interested in any of our programs or our course. And would love to hear your story about the strong women in your lives, whether it's yourself or someone you know out there who's your role model maybe, who's showing you something that, has really surprised you, just as me last week with a beautiful participant who showed me that really boundaries are all up here. Nothing's too big a boundary to get over. And I think that's really the epitome of choosing to challenge. So that's it from me for this week. Thank you everyone for joining. I really appreciate it, and I love having everyone there. And I will speak to you again in a month's time, and I'm going to be interviewing one of our facilitators from this part of the world, and we're going to hear how she is going, and how her business is going, and how she's evolving in this beautiful world of equine assisted learning. So I will speak to everyone again in a month's time. Thanks so much for watching. Love you all.